Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Taylor, and I am the advocate of the devil. Movie directors come in three flavors: the ones who seem to do no wrong, the ones who seem to do no right, and then there are those who are in between. The ones that do great flicks provide much entertainment for the masses, like me. The ones who screw up all the time, well, they end up getting their movies shown on the Sci-Fi Channel, endlessly mocked by all, like me. One of the major in-betweeners is M. Night Shyamalan. After reaching success with The Sixth Sense, largely due to the twist ending, he made several missteps. Well, that may be an understatement. Lady in the Water was heavily pandering to himself, The Happening helps me get to sleep, and The Last Airbender speaks for itself. It's been said that he's a one-trick pony, relying solely on his use of twists to get his movies out. And after such a long stretch of dreck, maybe it's about time that he stopped writing and directing altogether. It's not like he's ever gonna make another good movie again, right? Right? Come on, you all know where I'm going with this. I disagree, and today, I'm gonna defend M. Night Shyamalan. Let's start with The Sixth Sense, since that's what kickstarted M. Night's career. I'm not gonna go full on into plot details, but I am gonna spoil the hell out of one part, the obvious part. And I'm not apologizing for spoiling an 18-year-old movie. At this point, if you haven't seen it yet, you didn't want to in the first place.
I see people. They don't know they're dead.
Everyone judges good writing in their own way. The way I see it is if you can hook your audience and keep them paying attention, that's good. You're entertaining in some way. What the twist did was not only make for a great talking piece with your work buddies the following Monday, but it practically begged you to re-watch the movie.
Oh, déjà vu.
To see all the different interactions with Willis's character, now armed with the knowledge that he's not even alive the entire time. As a writer, it's hard for me not to pay attention to all the little details in a piece of fiction. I automatically look at character inflections, interactions, exact wordings, all of it, in order to understand that character, the world they inhabit, and their place within it. I do it all the time. What this twist did was take your normal, average, everyday movie watcher and get them to do the exact same thing. A casual moviegoer won't always catch all the details the first go around, but thanks to the way that this particular twist was handled, it changed the way we watch movies, as now we look for the signs leading to whatever may happen. Speaking of nowadays, you can't walk down to your favorite Cineplex without seeing a poster, a preview, or some kind of internal marketing for the latest and greatest superhero movie. As a fan of damn near everything pop culture related, I love this time. All my favorites from childhood are getting their chance to be in the limelight, on the big screen. However, my favorite stories, superhero or not, have always been grounded in reality. Ones where you can relate to the characters, the gonists of the pro and antag variety. And that is why one of my favorite superhero movies of all time is M. Night's Unbreakable.
131 people died so you could finally understand the destiny for which you were born.
You have all the great staples in the movies we see today. An origin story, the hero learning what his powers are, rejecting the idea of being a hero at first, learning how to control those powers. You get Sam L. Jackson plucking the strings of our hero, piquing my own interest on whether or not he was going to be a good or a bad guy.
In a comic, you know how you can tell who the arch villain's going to be? He's the exact opposite of the hero.
You even get Bruce Willis in what I see as the last time it looked like he truly cared to even be in a movie. But what sets this apart from the offerings of Marvel and DC is that neither character is all that super. It doesn't take place in a fictional version of New York, or a real version of New York with fictional characters in it.
You got hard, kid. Where you from?
Queens?
Brooklyn.
They were all human, dealing with human emotions and motives, actions and reactions. The final battle wasn't even over the top the way the Avengers movies end up being. It was a one-on-one fight with real stakes using real people. There were even times where it looked like our hero wasn't even going to make it through all the trials and tests that Mr. Glass was putting him through. Who would ever have thought that a superhero could actually lose?
But the one thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, fall, die trying.
But in this, it was all believable, and set in the real world. You could connect with these characters because they weren't far out, over-the-top caricatures of one single side of a human being. They were complete characters, all on their own. The problem with it, as is unfortunately the case with everything that Mr. Shyamalan Ding Dong has done since he first started being a success, was that there had to be a twist at the end. Turns out Mr. Glass was a bad guy after all. The yang to Unbreakable Bruce's yin, so to speak. And this need for a twist seemed to follow throughout M. Night's career from then on, almost like a curse. Until now.
He's done awful things to people, and he'll do awful things to you.
Starring Professor Xavier from the X-Men movies, well, the good ones anyways, Split is a journey into the mind of one person who is, as the title implies, split into 24 distinct personalities. Again, I'm not going to go into spoiler territory, although even if I did, you still need to see the movie to understand it.
You're goddamn right.
And this is where M. Night makes, in my opinion, his triumphant return. The dialogue is a little too expository and heavy-handed, yes. There's a lot more tell than there is show, which in a visual medium is a little more than just a faux pas, and is a staple of Shyamalan's movies. However, as a suspense thriller, a genre that relies and depends on not going where you expect it to go, not being predictable, I say this movie hits the nail straight on the mark. There are so few movies that, while watching, you don't know exactly where it's gonna go. They become checklist movies. The air quotes twist in this one, if you can even call it that, doesn't seem forced and tacked on like it would in a lot of other movies. It feels natural within the elements displayed within it. And the potential for the future of what this movie has promised is one that I think may be talked about for quite some time to come. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of M. Night's movies fall into very standard tropes, and the quality seems very hit or miss. And when they miss hard. But Split has shown to me the potential that the man has potentially learned from his mistakes and grown as a filmmaker. And I'm excited for what he's planning on releasing next. Just as long as he doesn't get another established property, or goes too far back into his old ways. Despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, I do hope I managed to shed some light into the positive aspects of M. Night. Whether it be in his first major success, and the way we now watch movies with a more critical, expectant eye, or even taking one of the most underutilized genres of its time and making a clever, unique spin on it that hasn't been matched to this day. Shyamalan, for good or for ill, makes movies that are uniquely his own. And while it would be easy to shrug and say that his time has come and gone, that he's made too much bad to ever come back from, movies like Split have shown me that there is, much like Darth Vader, still good in him. Now, here's to Glass not being utter shit. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for a new piece of my mind every Wednesday. I promise, there's only one-ish personality within me. And if you like the gaming of the video variety, we've got a Twitch channel as well. There won't be any unique twists, we suck, but in a somewhat entertaining and non-pornographic way. And most importantly, let us know in the comments below what you think of the career of M. Night Shyamalan. Do the good flicks outweigh the bad? Or is the internet jury split in their verdict? By all means, let your own views clash with my own, so that I may proceed to prove you wrong.
Kaboom! You've been lawyered.
But for now, in the case of M. Night Shyamalan, the defense rests.
Plastic. Talking to a plastic plant. I'm still doing it.
Okay, no. You do not get to show that here. It'll poke way too many holes in my arguments.